For over a century now, we've been told that there's one path. Get to Los Angeles, wait tables, smile in the right room, shake the right hand. The Hollywood dream, a shimmering promise that if you just worked hard enough, or played the game long enough, or kept your big break fantasy alive, that one day they'd let you in. But here's the truth that they never put on the billboards. The Hollywood dream was built to serve the few, not the many. It wasn't an open door, it was a velvet rope in front of a padlocked golden gate. It rewards connections and privilege and compliance over hard work and raw talent. It told millions of artists to line up for a lottery that they knew the artists would never win. Thankfully, things are changing, and not for the first time either. Today, we're talking about the way that the film industry has adapted over time and the ways that you need to adapt if you would like to make movies going forward. All this and more right now on The Nick Williams Show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Nick Williams Show. My name's Nick Williams. I'm an independent filmmaker and producer north of Boston. Joining me in studio today is a special guest producer Dan Keating.
How's it going?
Good, Dan. It's good to have you in, man. Thanks for driving up.
Anytime.
Nice little hangout sesh. Obviously, all of my friends in our hangout sessions have become, let's do a podcast of some sort, you know?
Yeah.
But we're content creators. We like making content. Dan, the Hollywood dream may be dying, and Hollywood, the part that didn't burn down, is also now certainly dying. But filmmaking is still alive and well. It's just changing. And I think the dream just looks a little bit different than what it was when we were growing up. Would you agree? Or
Yep. I think a lot of things have changed, especially with the uprising of streaming platforms, the downfall of the Hollywood, the typical Hollywood studio. Everything's starting to definitely, change.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm not even kidding. I've said this on other podcasts before, but when I was a little kid, they went around the room. Johnny, what do you want to be? Astronaut. Billy, what do you want to be? Cowboy. Nick, what do you want to be? I said film producer. I'm not kidding. I really did. Actually, it's a lie. I said Steven Spielberg. And the teacher was like, let's call your parents. But I'm serious. And that's what it's just something that's always been in there for me, you know? And I thought for the longest time that I wanted to be a film producer in Hollywood because that's the only place films could be produced. You know what I mean? But for me, now that I've gotten older and now that I make movies and I produce films for a living and I do this show and I create content and whatever else, the dream has kind of changed. I don't really understand why anyone would want to go move to an area of the country where it's all kind of going downhill. I'm a huge proponent of being in Boston, staying in Massachusetts, making movies. We have all 4 different seasons. We have great tax incentives for filmmaking. And we have a huge culture of independent filmmakers here. You know? So for me, it's like, yeah, I'll just build my career here. And I don't know, you just came out of school. You're moving around, looking for work, doing your stuff. I want to know some of the issues that you have with the film industry or that other people have, things you've heard. I don't care.
Yeah. So I think,
but
for me,
would you agree that there's a lot of like, where do we go from here?
100%.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's all going to AI. It's all going to shit. And what does that mean? No one's ever going to make movies again?
Exactly. Well, something that really helped me with the whole AI thing, people were freaking out about it. AI this, AI that. But most of the jobs in the country can be replicated by AI to an extent, right? So when people are like, oh, AI is going to come for filmmaking, like, okay, but it can come for anything, right? Like it can come for every single marketing job. It can come for every single project manager position.
Yeah.
So it can come for anything, right? So that's something that I have to kind of take that worry out of it because it's something that could happen, but probably not, right? Because nobody wants to watch meaningless, emotionless AI content on a screen, right?
It's like not even real. It's totally unrelatable.
Oh, exactly. I mean, like even with the Google VO3, how it's gotten so good, and, right?
Yes.
And everybody's like, oh, it's gonna keep getting better. And sure, it will get better. But do people really want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that content going to be marketable to people? It has no feeling, it has no emotion, and it wasn't made by a person. I just don't know if you're going to be able to sell that kind of stuff. Some people say, oh, yeah, you'll be able to sell it, but
Well, maybe
I
you
don't know.
will. Listen, there's a lot of idiots out there that'll buy it.
But then if you can
Okay.
sell that, you can, I mean, every job, unless it's an in-person job, right? It's going to be up for, up for grabs. I mean, a project managing position, you think AI can't come in and manage all these different clients for you? Of
Sure,
course they
with an
can.
app or something.
Exactly, exactly. So, if you're talking about these small one-off things, I mean, it can happen to anything. So that's not really a huge fear of mine. I know another big thing coming out of college is just kind of breaking into the industry as well, if you want to pursue that
So,
filmmaking
okay,
path.
this is a great point. And
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off. Can I cut
You're
you
good. Yeah,
off?
go
It's
for
my
it.
fucking show.
Of course it is.
My name's on the bottom of the thing. Can I cut you off, Dan?
Yes, you can.
Appreciate you being here. All right, here's where I'm at. So you said that there's like the issue, or one of the main issues is breaking into the industry,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Name another artistic field you have to break into.
Yeah. Not
You want to
not
be a
many.
sculptor, go buy some fucking clay,
Yeah.
right? You want to be a painter, you buy a canvas and some paints. You want to make movies, it should be, in my opinion, it should be you buy a camera, you
Mhm.
hire some actors, you write a script or whatever the order is, you know what I'm saying? You put the shit together in an editing software, which over half the editing softwares out there are on par with Hollywood these days, and they're fucking free. You know what I mean? But now you have to break into an industry. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean by break into the industry?
I definitely see your point now, right? About why you
By
would
the
have
way,
to.
I don't want you to feel during this that I'm against you. I'm not
No,
against
no,
you.
I know.
You are representative of an entire generation of people that are now on the end of a Hollywood dream. Part of the reason that there was the Hollywood dream was because these 4, 5, 6, 7 companies decided that they were going to make movies. Everybody else was a fucking bricklayer.
Yeah.
Everybody else owned a convenience store. Everybody else was doing their own thing. And artists that were painters and sculptors and whatever other forms of art that there are, they built up their industries. But when it comes to entertainment, there seems to be this like gatekeeping mentality of, oh, you got to break in, you got to prove it to them before you prove it to the audience.
Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays you don't have to prove it to the companies. You just have to put your shit out there. People that like it, the same way that there are people that like certain artists.
Mhm.
There will be people out there who only like your movies that
Yeah.
you make.
Well, I think part of the thing with the film industry is just this hierarchy that we've, that people in the film industry have put upon themselves. So, for example, like if you want to break in right to the film industry, the typical way to do it is to start from the bottom and kind of work your way up to the top. And I understand what you're saying, how that shouldn't be the traditional way. I mean, if you want to make a movie, you should be able to go make it, right?
It's not that it shouldn't be the traditional way. Let me explain, and I'm glad that you said that because I got to clarify. I'm not saying that Hollywood should die or that Hollywood shouldn't exist. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. I'm saying that the internet and that social media and that streaming services, what they've really done, because everybody says that streaming services are killing the film industry. They're not. They're evening the playing field for filmmakers. They're giving rise and opportunity to no-name creators who are going to write the next Rocky or the next whatever it is. You don't need to go pitch your idea. How many fucking scripts are sitting on the desks of Hollywood executives, not literally, but on the computers or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? How many things get overlooked because they weren't good enough for like 4 or 5 people? So millions of people just never get to see the work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It's not nowadays. You have to be able to have the content in front of the public.
Yeah.
You don't have to get the approval of Warner Brothers. Not that Warner Brothers is bad. And quite honestly, if someone brought me a script at WillCo Media that I didn't like, I wouldn't make it. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm obviously not as big as Warner Brothers. And neither are you, and neither is anybody.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is as big as Warner Brothers. That's it. They're a huge corporation. Why are we striving to work for a huge corporation? Why is that the goal? That's not the dream that I had when I was in first grade.
Mhm.
That's not what I want to do. I don't want to grow up and work for a big corporation. I will. Let me explain. If WillCo Media, if we had a script or something like that, right? And we were and Warner Brothers said, "Oh, we'll give you $50 million." I'm not going to take it? Of course I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
kinda have
But
to.
I'm not writing scripts for Warner Brothers. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
producing
writing scripts
films.
to yourself.
Right, I'm not
Exactly.
producing films to be on HBO Max,
Mhm.
you know? If they get on HBO Max, wonderful. But I also want them on Amazon. I also want them on Hulu. I also want them on all the distribution streaming services
Exactly.
under the Wilco Media name. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do. I see
So
exactly what you're saying.
what I don't understand is why just because they had a monopoly on everything, now and they set up all this infrastructure too. I think it's so funny. IATSE and all of these different unions and everything else that they've set up to capitulate, to keep people in line, to keep them working for these corporations to build them up. Walt Disney would be rolling in his fucking grave if he saw what his company had become today.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
in many ways.
It's insane. It's insane. I'm a storyteller. I'm someone who likes to tell stories through the medium of film. That's it. And I feel like a lot of us are like that, but we feel as though we have to do it in the way that Warner Brothers, and I feel like I'm picking on them. They're not a bad company. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
It's just speaking in general. I understand.
Or Apple or any of the, we have to do it the way they say. Apple makes fucking iPhones, Dan. Apple makes iPhones. Why are they making movies?
Yeah. That
You telling me MGM and Apple are the same thing? Give me a break.
yeah.
Give me a fucking break. What are we talking about here? Apple making movies. And it's fine that they do. But if anything, they're proof that anybody can. And then you go the route, not you, but I'm saying people in general, they go the route of like, yeah, well, Apple's making movies because they have the money to make movies. Why the fuck are movies expensive? Why do they have to be expensive?
Yeah.
Why do they have to be expensive? Why does everything have to be $200 million?
It's just the going rate, unfortunately, that it just keeps
Says
going up.
who?
Well, it says the studio system, right? So the going rate for these things, and I 100% agree with you. They don't have to be as expensive, right? But the going rate that the studios have put a price tag on is just all this stuff. I mean, this guy's gonna get paid this amount of money. This guy's gonna get paid this amount. Maybe it's 10 times more than what they should be making. You know, that's what all the salary is going to. It's just when you make a film, essentially, you take a pile of money and you light it on fire, right, every day, and that's how these studio systems work, right? They have a bunch of money and they're just utilizing it, no matter whether it's the most efficient way. No, not at all,
It's
right?
not efficient at all.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing. So you have independent filmmakers who scrimp and save or crowdfund or, try and gain a chunk of change so that they can make their film. And they don't make their features for $500 million or $200 million or whatever it is. And I know people right now that have scripts where they're like, I can make this feature for 50K. I can make this feature for 100,000. I know people that are like, oh, I'm looking for, maybe 750,000. And then you see Hollywood come out with something that's fucking, let's be honest, dog shit.
Yeah.
Fucking dog shit films that are coming out for $200+ million, Dan. Fucking why?
Yeah.
That's the only question I'm asking. When I see Hollywood come out with a $200 million flop, right? The only thing I'm seeing is 199 $1 million movies that didn't get made, that could have been made, that didn't, for whatever fucking reason. And it makes zero sense to me. Now, I'm not even saying, here's the other crazy part. You're allowed to refuse business of anybody. If you own a business in the United States, you're allowed to refuse business from anybody for any reason. We don't want to do it. I'm all set. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not even saying that the $200 million should have gone to me. Okay? What I'm saying is you have all of these artists who are trying to raise money and acting like they're part of Hollywood instead of creating and making the films and telling the stories they want to tell. And I don't really know why. I don't understand it. You also have people who make features for 10 grand. And maybe the story's good, maybe it's not, maybe they can have time to hire a Steadicam operator, maybe they can't. But like, you know what I mean? Or they have certain equipment or they don't. But like, does it make the movie any better if they do?
Yeah, no, that's actually a kind of funny thing. If I may, when I was making my senior capstone film,
Yeah.
the average capstone film was like $40,000, and I made mine for $200, and it placed higher than like most of the other films that were selling for $40,000. Just because the way I allocated resources, that I need this, I need that. I feel like with these Hollywood systems, what they'll do is they'll hire everybody and their mother, and they'll be sitting around, and it's like, okay, it's a lot of sit around and wait, right? And maybe you'll do something, maybe you won't, but you're going to be paid to sit here and do that. And that's unfortunately the what the Hollywood level's at, because they have all this backing money and all these things, and they can just funnel it all into one place.
Right.
And it's not efficient by any means, but they're not in the business of efficiency, right? And that's the unfortunate part about the whole thing.
So we've talked about, or I talked about in the intro about how Hollywood has adapted over time, and one thing that I saw, because I've been really digging into this a lot recently, and I wanted to know why there's all this like doom and gloom around the film industry. Like, and what I mean by that is people are like, oh, it's all dying, it's all over, it's all done, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I still like telling stories, I still like using a camera, I'm still producing films. I want to start producing more features. I would love to have 5, 10 features under my belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I that's what I want to do. I don't want to live in LA. I don't want to go to work every day and have someone say, "Well, we got this advertising deal from this company, so now you got to reshoot everything, and we got to include this name, and we can't make them look bad, so we got to change the story of the script." What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is that? It doesn't make any sense. Not that I won't accept advertising money. You're more than welcome to hit me up. Do you see my point,
I
though?
do.
So it's all a big fucking fake bullshit thing.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, which is okay, but if that's the case, why not just fake it on our own? Why not just build our own industry? Why not actually support artists and independent filmmakers from all over the place? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't. I just don't understand the doom and gloom mentality of filmmakers, or the people that are chasing the Hollywood thing as if it's like the be all end all. If I can make a living, pay all my bills, and produce features all the time, I'm happy. If you're an actor and you're getting paid to be in movies, who gives a fuck if everybody knows your name or not? You're acting. That's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, that's a
Because
good way, that's a good way to look at it.
if you're doing anything to just be famous,
Yeah.
what kind of selfish fucking weirdo are you?
Yeah.
It's not about fame and fortune, it's about telling stories. Not everybody's going to like your shit. The coolest part about this is what I'm saying is when television came out, right? The film industry freaked out. They freaked the fuck out. They said they would write articles saying that television will never be anything. They would say who's going to own a TV? Everybody goes to the movies. Who's going to own a TV? Exploded. Everybody owns a TV, by the way, Dan. I don't know if you know this. Everybody owns a TV. You got 6 of them sitting in front of you right now. And what did Hollywood do? Do you know how they responded to television? Do you know what they did to change that? You just went to 4 years of fucking film school. This is my point. Don't go to film school. Dan's a great kid, and I'm not giving you guys a hard time for going to film school. But what do you know about the industry? What do you know about how to change the industry? How to adapt? How to grow? How to find your place and fit in? What do you know about that? If you don't know anything, then you wasted $200,000+ that you could have used to make films on schooling to learn how to use a camera that you could have learned how to use on fucking YouTube. What are you doing? Wake the fuck up. When television came out and took the world by storm, Hollywood responded with widescreen, VistaVision, Cinerama, all these different. That's why those black bars are so. Oh, well, that's a movie if there's the black bars. Why is that? It's because that's how they responded to stay relevant in the industry.
Yeah.
Internet came out, and it really opened the floodgates for anyone who wants to be a filmmaker. And I encourage it, by the way. I feel like people want this like exclusive, my dick is bigger than yours attitude toward filmmaking. Everybody should make films. Everybody should make a YouTube channel. Everybody should have a podcast. Why the fuck would I care? If I see something online I don't like, I move the fuck on. I look at something else. People, this is why not everybody needs a podcast. You certainly don't.
So true, though. It's so
true.
Yeah.
And if you feel that way, why don't you start a podcast talking about why other people don't need podcasts? Seriously, I don't understand it. Tell your story. The ability for people to engage with other people right now is limitless. There are no regulations. There are no things that you can't say or do. And if there is a platform that will deplatform you for saying certain things, there's another one that will build you up. So I don't understand why people think that the industry is dying. Hollywood might be dying, and the old way of doing things and the infrastructure that they set up, which was not foolproof and it was not technology proof and it was not, innovation proof, that's dying. But telling stories on camera and hiring actors or writing a script, and that's not dying. It's not going anywhere. So what's with all the doom and gloom? What have you heard from other people, Dan? What have you heard from people your age? Don't name names. We don't do that here.
What have I heard? I mean, it's so a lot of it is the way the studio system works and the way the film industry works is a lot of, I guess, I don't even know how to really explain this, but a lot of the doom and gloom really stems from the point of like you said, the Hollywood's the end all be all type thing, right? Where you have to be here to do it right, and a lot of people are trying to work their way up into it, and it's one of those things where now a lot of people, since they're trying to get to this place, they're putting everybody else down, right? They're trying to look better than everybody else. They're starting problems that they shouldn't start to make themselves look better, right? I've been on so many film sets where people start problems themselves and then fix the problems and then brag to the producer how they fixed the problem that they just started, right? So that's kind of the whole doom and gloom. I feel with the Hollywood system is that everybody's trying to put each other down to get to this one place, right? And it really should be more of a collaborative effort, but nobody makes the effort to make it collaborative. It's more of just I'm one person, I'm going to outshine everybody else, and then work my way up. And that's kind
Work
of
your
what
way up to
Hollywood.
what? To getting into Hollywood.
Well, exactly.
But
That's
here's
what
the
people
thing.
believe, right?
But here's the thing about the Hollywood dream. The Hollywood dream is dead because Hollywood is dying. And the new dream, the filmmaker dream, the creator dream is not about getting into anywhere. It's about creating your own somewhere.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
That's the new dream. That's what everybody should be focused on. That's
Yeah.
what all of these artists and creators and festival people and everything else, that's what they should be focused on. It's not about if I do this, then I'll get here. It's about look at me. This is what I have to offer. What do you think? And that's scary for a lot of people because a lot of people can hide behind the Hollywood system if they want to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can say, well, Warner Brothers thought it was good, so that means that I thought it was good. Apple thought it was good, so that means that, it's on Apple. Of course it's good. Apple's funding it. What? That doesn't make any sense. You've never seen anything shit on Apple? And not that Apple's a bad company. I'm saying that, the content, something. It's not that great.
Yeah.
The new dream is not about getting into Hollywood. It's about creating your own Hollywood. You are Hollywood in your own way. I mean, when I grew up, people were like, it's your uniqueness that makes you so good. It's you being unique. It's what makes you different that makes you special. But now we all have to conform to the way that Hollywood is? Give me a fucking break. And what are we talking about here? It literally makes no sense to me. I'm an artist. I like telling stories. That's my art form. So if that's your art form too, why are we changing the way that we do our artwork for Hollywood? For corporate overlords? For censorship? I don't want to be censored. I want to say whatever the fuck I want. I censor the videos on YouTube because otherwise you won't see them. But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Create your own space. Make good content. People will see it. That's the bottom line. If you want to make movies where you're at. Film in your neighborhood with your friends or with other people that like to make movies. Stop charging Hollywood-style full day rates to your friends.
That's pretty fucked up.
You know one thing that I don't fucking understand at all about your generation? It's not an attack on you personally, but younger people in general, the idea of loneliness. I don't get it. If you're lonely, pick up the fucking phone and call your friend. And by the way, don't attach a price tag to it. Back in the day, before you had anything, when you and your friend Nick, not me, the other Nick, would get together to make YouTube videos or content, did you fucking invoice him after that?
No.
You just wanted to have some fun with your friend, and that's the way you had fun.
Yeah, and
Why do we need to sit there and be like, well, I'll show up for, I've known you for 20 years. I'll show up for 300 a day. Normally I charge 500 a day. What the fuck are you talking about?
yeah,
This is your
no,
friend.
it's unfortunately I've seen it happen firsthand, and it happens all the time. I mean, I know so many people like that that you think it's gonna be I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and it's not. Like you do something for them, and then the next day they hit
It's
you with an
fucking
invoice.
wild
It's
to me. I
it's
don't
ridiculous.
understand it. And
Yeah.
it's just this, it's like, okay, well, if I can't get into Hollywood, if I can't, get the big bucks, I'll just act like I'm making the big bucks out
Yep.
here.
Yep.
And I'll just act like I'm a big, whatever, big shot out
Yep.
wherever I
And you
am.
put everybody else down, and
Right,
you
and
you
put
you
everybody
you
else
gatekeep
down, and you
everything.
gotta be
Yep.
like,
Mhm.
dude, I
Yep.
invite and hope and pray that I get to watch indie films, that I get to see the stories that other people that I know or people I don't know that they're telling. I love movies. I love watching movies. It doesn't matter to me if the movie is $250 million budget or $50,000 budget or $5,000 budget. If the story is good, I go into it, I go, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
In fact, 9 times out of 10, and very recently, I've been to the movies a couple of times, it's so fucking expensive. If you made a feature film, Dan, and charged $1 for a ticket, and 2 million people watched it because the ticket was $1,
It's a good amount of
would
money.
you be upset if you made $2 million
No,
off of a feature film you made with your friends?
I would not be.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
do.
What a fucking waste of time. Think about all the scripts and all the movies and all of the shorts and all of the content that doesn't get made because people say they don't have the money, but they're all sitting together complaining about how they don't have the money. But if they would just get off their fucking ass and turn the camera on, the
Yep.
content would be made.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's laziness. It's lazy syndrome. I feel
And,
like a
and
lot of people
don't
have
get
it.
me wrong. I know people got to pay bills. I'm not a complete fucking idiot. All right. I got to pay bills too. But like, what are we doing? Don't call yourself an artist if all you care about is the money. It makes no sense. You don't care about money, fucking bankers. Go be a doctor. Go be a lawyer. Don't complain about money. Make artwork. Tell your story. Tell your character's story. You know what it is? People are honestly, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. People are weak. That's what it is. They're embarrassed or they don't think that their story is good enough. So they don't push harder. They don't call in the favors. They don't try enough. People just want the handout. They just want the millions of dollars without putting any fucking work in. It is what it is.
I do get what you're saying.
I don't know. I just feel like these days you can film in your neighborhood with your friends. You can edit at your kitchen table and your audience is whatever views you have on YouTube.
Yeah.
The people that are like, well, I can't. We're trying to raise like $500,000. Write a different story. Put that one on hold. Write a simpler story.
Oh, exactly. No, I have that. Especially in college, a lot of people that were making their films, their senior films, it's like we're sitting in these writers' room, like going through the motions, like writing things, and a lot of people are like, well, I really want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this, and then like it comes to the point, it's like, like just write something simpler. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like all the time, we were just like, well, I want to do what they did in this film. This film costs $500 million. I wish I could do something close to what they did. It's like, well, you can't. So let's try to write something else, and let's try to conform it to what is possible and within our realm. And people don't see that. It's like, well, I'll just push it off then. I'll keep pushing it off. I'll push it off until I finally have the money. And you're never gonna do it because you're just gonna sit around and say, oh, I really wish I had that, and you don't have it. And that grinds my gears too because I've seen that so many times firsthand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's so much. I'm not. I don't want to be political at all, but I feel like there's so many like bubbles popping
Yeah.
recently,
Yep.
and I just feel like artists in general have always been the ones to break the mold. They've always been the ones to say, "Let's do it this way." I know it's never been done before. Let's just try it. I don't care if I'm successful or not. Look at someone like Jackson Pollock, who literally just dripped paint on a canvas, and people were like flabbergasted. Give me a break. I'm not saying that he's not worth it. I'm saying like, fucking come on now.
Yeah.
And people say, well, why is he famous? Because nobody was doing that, and then he did it. Okay, and you're like, well, I could do that too, and it's like, yeah, but he's the one that did it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, I just feel like, or in general, I should say, when artists stop begging for permission art changes. When we tell stories that don't conform to corporate overlords and big companies, truth emerges. Narratives change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like the difference between the Hollywood dream and the filmmaker dream is that the Hollywood dream is about waiting and the filmmaker dream is about making,
Yeah.
you know? And it's not about being chosen by somebody up here. It's about choosing yourself and saying, I have something to say. I mean, for God's sake, this whole country was founded on the idea of free speech and being a free people and choosing yourself. And I'm not saying selfish, like don't help other people. I'm saying, like, if you have something to say, stop censoring yourself. Just fucking say it. And if people don't like what you have to say, they'll go listen to somebody else. And if the people that do like what you have to say, those are your audience. Why do people not get that? Find your own audience. Be true to yourself. Stop waiting for someone to say, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. Do whatever the fuck you want. Look like an idiot. Or look like a smart person. Or change it every single day. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's America, for Christ's sake. That's the coolest part to me about streaming services and all that other stuff. YouTube and all these other platforms. They're giving artists the opportunity to say, this is what I want to say. It's not what everybody else says. And I don't give a fuck. Why don't more of us do that? And the ones that do, and I'd love to hear your take on this, I feel like there are artists out there who want to say that stuff, and then when they get on set, they act like they're in Hollywood.
Yeah. No, it's the
They
idea of
act like
conforming.
they got millions of dollars in budget and everything else, and it's like, you don't.
Yep.
It's okay if you want to run your set your way. Christopher Nolan has no chairs on his set. That's what he says. That's BS, by the way. But he says he has no chairs on his set. I don't really like phones on my set. But I also say that I'll text people. So it's like nobody else can have a phone except me. And then if you don't have your phone on you when I'm texting you, then you're in trouble.
Yep. Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's supposed to be fun. You're making fucking movies. You're playing pretend, for God's sake. Why are we, like, stifling ourselves? And is this going to be the right way to just go fucking have fun, man? Go out there and tell a story.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And I really wish that you could, speak to the majority of people that I've met and that make everything so hard to work with. Like there's a good saying, and it was like working with you is like working alone but harder, right? Like that's how the majority of people I worked with on film sets. Not
Oh, I
majority,
thought you
but
meant working with me.
no, not you personally.
Okay.
That's just a saying that I like to use because I've worked with so many people on film sets, and it's like you're making everything so tough to do. It's not fun. Take the fun out of it. It's this this is how it was done. This is how it should be done. We need to do it like this. And it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
and all
but
I
it's
say to that,
bullshit,
and this is
right?
why,
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
Okay.
it's me. Gotta cut you off. I'm
It's
sorry.
I'm sorry.
When you just said that, this is the way it should be done, my initial guttural, instinctual reaction to that is, says fucking who? That's me, which is why some people don't like working
No, it says a
with me.
cinematography textbook though. This is how it should be done, and
Yeah.
this is the
Okay, I'm an artist.
yeah.
So light the book on fire.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, that go ahead.
If it was true that there was only one way to make movies, people would still be cranking film through cameras like they did 100
Oh,
fucking years ago. Why do we innovate? Why do we evolve? Why is it cool? Why is CG? Why does that help us with film? Do you know what I'm saying? Why have there been any innovations fucking ever? Why, when Christopher Nolan made Oppenheimer, did he call Kodak and Sony and all these people and say, there is no IMAX black and white film. Make me some. Let's invent it. Up until that time, that had never been done before.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
No, it's
So why is it that he's allowed to say that, but we can't? You want to make a movie in black and white? Make a movie in black and white. You want to make a movie on film or digital? Make it. But stop stifling yourself is my point. and start making stuff for you and start helping each other create more. That's the main point. There is a revolution, evolution, whatever you want to call it, epiphany, bubble burst, whatever you want to call it. That is happening right now. If you don't get your mind on the right track, people will stop working with you when they hire you to be on a set and you're like, well, the industry standard. Fuck the industry standard.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Fuck the industry standard. That doesn't mean we don't be compliant. It doesn't mean that we don't that we're not being safe. It doesn't mean that we don't follow union rules. It doesn't mean that we don't do SAG rules or anything like that. But what I'm talking about are the stories themselves. And people in Hollywood giving $200 million to make shit. And you being on a film set, not you, them, someone listening, if you're the person on a film set, a $50,000 total budget movie film set, and you're complaining about industry standard, you're in the wrong fucking business. Go be a PA in Los Angeles.
Yeah. No, well said.
Sorry, it's the truth.
No,
Don't
it
be
it
on
is the
my
truth.
set. Don't be on my fucking set, because if I want to duct tape the camera to the fucking side of something, and I'm willing to pay for the camera if it breaks. But if I want to do something crazy, I don't give a fuck about the industry standard. I want
Yeah.
the image to look good. I want the story to get told the way that I want it to be told. And I want it to be fucking cool. And maybe it is and maybe it's not. But it's my artwork. So if I don't think it's good enough, it's not going out there. And if I do, wonderful. There will be people who like it and people who don't. Whatever. Why do we give a fuck? It's so fucking crazy to me. So fucking crazy to me. All right, let's go to super chats. I'm just kidding. It's just, there's like these people that say what film is and what film isn't.
Well, this is how it's supposed to be done, actually.
Right, this is how it's supposed to be done. If you don't do it this way, then you're not really a filmmaker. Bro, if you own a camera, you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
If you own a paintbrush, you're an artist, a painter.
Yeah.
If you go to fucking Michael's and you buy a brick of clay and you form it into something, congratulations, you're a sculptor. Why do we need to gatekeep? Why are we better? Why are we cooler for making films? Why is it that we make stuff and other people can't? All of that is gone, by the way, because of the fucking internet. All of that is bullshit.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You want to make movies the traditional way? Make movies the traditional way. You don't? Then don't. And find other people that don't so you can all, fuck around together on set, whatever it is, by yourself. I don't understand. I just don't understand. And I'm just wondering what the allure, besides the fame and besides the money, what is the exciting part about doing things the Hollywood way? When 99.99999% of people that own a camera will never be famous, myself included. I don't give a fuck. I don't do this for fame. This is a fucking call to revolution in at least Boston, because I am talking directly to you and you, but also directly to you, the people that I know, the filmmakers that I know, and the ones that I don't. If I don't know you, great, listen up, and this is how it is. You want to work with me, send me something, email me. I don't give a fuck. But the filmmakers that I know, stop acting like this is 1930s Hollywood. By the way, in 1930s Hollywood, grips used to wear suits and ties on film sets. We don't do that anymore either. So there have been plenty of evolutions, whether it's through safety and compliance, whether it's through technological advances, or lengths of film, or aspect ratios. Film is changing constantly. And now with AI, all of that money is going to get poured into fake shit anyway. Stop chasing a dream that doesn't exist. Band together as filmmakers. And let's build a future that is viable and sustainable for ourselves. Because doing it their way doesn't fucking work.
I don't know. It can be a toxic industry at times, right? And I think that a lot of people fall into these holes of just doing it the industry way and then acting like they're so industry and and this when they're not really that industry at all, right? So it becomes very toxic in a sense. When you keep portraying yourself as something that you're not, right? You're on a, like you said, lower budget film set and you're acting like you're Mr. Hollywood, and you're not, and it just creates an environment it's not collaborative, it's not great, it's not good for making if you wanna really be an artist, and you'd wanna, not everything be so, like, this is how it has to be done, because that's not art, right? That's textbook, right? So that's a lot of people, it's just that's the thing, right? It's what you wanna be. If you really wanna be an artist, you gotta do it the artist way, and a lot of people are in this industry not to be artists. They're in this industry to conform to these rules and regulations set by certain people, and that's just the unfortunate part about it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And by the way, Hollywood comes to Boston a lot. They film a lot of movies here. They do a lot of different things here. There's big productions, small productions, millions of dollars come flowing through Boston all the time. And that's fine. And again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not saying that Hollywood shouldn't exist or that these corporations should close up shop or never make anything again or that they're not real artists or anything like that. I'm not downing on anybody who does get the big deal, you know? I'm not like shitting on anybody who gets the Hollywood development deal. But in the meantime, keep making shit. Express yourself. Show people who you are as a storyteller and as an artist and as a filmmaker. Turn the camera upside down. Make movies about things you haven't seen before. Tell the stories that you wish you saw that you don't currently see. Don't just bitch and complain about the movies that are being made. Make movies that you want to see. Make movies for you. Put them on fucking YouTube so that other people can see them and go, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. What are we doing? The industry is changing. There are going to be millions of little mini Hollywoods. Look at Georgia. Look at Austin, Texas. Look at New York and LA and Miami and Boston. I just had on last week, I put the episode up, was the kids from Maine, Sea Point, Jacob and John from Sea Point. They're making stuff. They're making a feature that's taken them 2 years. They're still making it. They're having a fucking ball. They're having a blast. I had Steven Schloss on a while back. Love Steven. You're great. He made a movie, a short film, like that. He's a horror film director, and he made a horror Hanukkah movie. And the reason he made it, he told me, he texted me, Steven, I love you. I'm not putting you on blast here. It's a good thing. He said, I hadn't really seen one of those before. I hadn't seen a movie, a horror Hanukkah movie, so I fucking made one. And let me tell you, it's brilliant. I went to the premiere. It's a very good movie. Nice job, Steven. More people should do shit like that. If you have a story that you haven't seen, fucking make it. Don't wait for Hollywood to come calling you saying, you've been a PA for 28 years and you've done a really good job. Now we want to give you 20 million because it ain't going to fucking happen. Stop waiting to make films. Make art now. If you own a camera, you're a filmmaker, okay? If you have an internet connection, you have a distribution deal. And if you have an idea or a script, then you have a reason to do it. Stop chasing the Hollywood dream. Start living the filmmaker dream. Be an artist. And never let anyone tell you when you need their permission to create. Don't ever wait for permission to create anything, whether it's high budget, low budget, medium budget, whatever. Unless you are working for a specific client, do it whatever fucking way you want to do it and show the world unapologetically, this is what I made. Do you like it or not? Leave a comment. Subscribe if you do like it. Like the video if you like it. Share it with a friend. All of these tools are right at our fingertips, right at our disposal, and we're worried about money and fucking Hollywood. Give me a break. It's ridiculous. And I'm so excited. This is the thing, is it gets me so twisted up, but I'm so fucking excited for the future. Because if you don't make movies, somebody else will. Somebody else will. And I guess we'll just have to wait and listen to their stories, since you're too lazy and stupid to do it the right way or do it yourself. Dan, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Had a good time.
Yeah. Let's go get some lunch or something.
Be cool.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Like this video, subscribe to the channel. See you next week.